Good afternoon, this is Pam with Follow Your Brush, and I'm so glad you joined me this afternoon because I have something really exciting to talk to you about and show you a gift that I received from Lightwish, and I just can't thank them enough for their generosity and kindness. If this is your first time following me, I'm a watercolor adventurist. I love trying new things and dipping my brush into new products. In fact, I got another new product coming to try. And Lightwish, though, was one of my favorites. This is not new to me, this company. In fact, I did another review on Follow Your Brush on one of their plastic travel palettes that has over 7,000 views. So that was nice. And but they recently saw a video that I had posted after my daughter passed away, and they just contacted me and said, we would like to reach out to you and send you this as a gift. There was no request for a video or anything. If I wanted to, that was fine, but they were not asking for a review. They just wanted to be gracious and give this to me, and so I'm very, very grateful. So they sent me the wooden box watercolor palette with 24 colors, which we'll look at in a second. And they also sent me a sketchbook, which I was thrilled to receive because at Christmas time I actually bought this same sketchbook in their soft blue color and took it with me on vacation over the Christmas holidays, and I used it constantly for days, and I did paintings. So I was very excited to receive that as well because I already have refills for this, for my other one as well. It's spiral bound, nice, soft, it's like a suede cover, magnetic clip, and the paper is 100% cotton. I prefer the cold press, so that's what they sent me. They asked me what I wanted. I did a little sketch on here that we can play with in a minute when I swatch my colors instead of just doing squares and circles. But let me show you this beautiful box. Like I say, it's 24 colors, and it's in a leather sheath or cover. And this is just beautiful. I just can't tell you how wonderful it feels. This is also magnetic. Opens here, and then inside is your gorgeous walnut box. And like I said, it has 24 colors. I've got it upside down at the moment. Here we go. Let's hold it this way. It has a plastic cover over the top to protect your watercolors. And there is a way, I'm not sure I figured it out, so they'll have to forgive me, but there is a way to prop this up and use this if you do want to do your sketching and painting. I almost would hate to get paint on this beautiful cover. But there is a way to do that. I just haven't gotten really adept at that. But let's look at these gorgeous colors. And I like this, it has a box here so that you can keep your brushes. So in here I have one of my Rosemary & Co. Travel brushes that I really enjoy. This one is a, this one says, it's a size 15 travel brush, or 10. It's a synthetic, that's what that says, synthetic. It's a synthetic brush. I also have one of their R13 travel brushes, which is, I believe it's red sable. It's worn off because I use it so much. So when I do swatching and stuff, I like to use my travel brushes. They're just the perfect size. They did send a swatch sheet that we can do here. And like I say, I'm not sure how this props up. I know there's a way, so forgive me for that. But let me just prop it up like this for now. And just real quickly, I'm going to do the colors for you. This is a zinc white. So we'll go over those numbers there so you can see. So that's kind of transparent. It's a PW4. I got another little jar of water here that's clean, so we can use that in a minute when we go to do our little painting. This is Handsome Lemon. JNZA is how they spell it. It's a PY13. So these are pure pigments. I think they have a few that might be more than one pigment. No, they look like they're all pure pigments. This is Yellow Medium, PY154. And this is Yellow Deep, which is PY65. This is Gold Ochre, one of my favorite colors. Now, I have not pre-wet this, if you noticed. I'm just dipping right into them. So this is wet on dry, but they just wet beautifully. Beautiful colors. Actually, I have a little bit too much water there. Let me dab that up. This one is orange. PO54. Beautiful orange, beautiful, beautiful orange. And then we'll play with it in a minute with this on my little swatch, on my little sketch that I have. And here we have Red Light. I also like the fact that these are half pans. I mean, full-size pans, not half pans. Apologize for that. I like working with the full pans. This is Carmen Red. Pretty, that kind of reminds me of my Opera Pink. Madder Lake Red, it's also very pretty. That's PR176. Then we have Violet Light, I'm sorry, which is PV. Oh, here's two pigments, PV3 and PR122. This is Violet Deep, which is PV3 and PB29, if you like pigment numbers. I didn't used to pay attention to pigment numbers, but I did learn. It's kind of nice to know when you're comparing different brands. Isn't this gorgeous? This is just called blue, but look at this blue. Oh my goodness. PB 15.3. And we have Ultramarine Light, PB 29. Indigo, one of my all-time favorite colors. This is a PB 66. This one is called Bluish Green. There's another two pigment blend. It's PG7 and PB 15, and how gorgeous is that? Watered down, that would be a great color for oceans. This is Emerald Green, and that is PG7 and PB 15. And then we have Sap Green, PG7 and PY3. And we have Deep Green, which is PG7 and PBK7. So that's kind of a darker green. Let me pull this up a little bit. Let this run up. Get a chance to move around. It's one thing I like to do when I paint, actually. Let's go to the bottom row. We have Raw Sienna, PB7. And we have a Burnt Sienna, PBR7. They both are PBR7. So This obviously is in different concentration of the pigments, because one is the raw sienna, one's burnt sienna. Here we have an English red, which kind of, I like that. This reminds me, I have the Lunar Earth from Daniel Smith, and that kind of reminds me of that. It's PBR7 again, so we're just getting deeper into that other brownish red color. Now we have a burnt umber, which is nice. I like to have chocolate in my palette. This reminds me of chocolate. Let me pull this, let these play a little bit. Got a little bit too much water on them. But it's soaking in okay. It's all right. This is sepia, which is one that I've actually really enjoyed working with. This is more of a dark chocolate. So we have some dark chocolate in the, and then we have a lamp black. So what a beautiful palette to work with. And that's also PBK7. So all of these, well, this is PBK7, these two, PBR7 are these three. So that's interesting, very interesting. This still has a little bit too much. Let me pick up some of that on my brush. A little bit too much water. That's just going to make a little bit of a background. But that's okay, these are just my samples. And beautiful, beautiful, beautiful colors. Now let's get over to the fun part, and I'm going to use these to work in my new journal. I'll get these up here, we have more room. And I did do this way, so I put it like that, and then put the palette here, and then so you can see what I'm doing. What I wanted to do, just for fun, is just quick sketching. Oh, actually, let me get my clean water here. By the way, if you like little water jars, I keep these jars that I get from yogurt, these little wee yogurts. And you can actually order online and order these little lids to fit them after you've used them. When it's glass containers, I don't like to throw anything away. But I'm just going to kind of wet up in here behind this tree. And let's see about doing a sky. I like some of these blues. Let me look at my blue colors and see what I want to put in my sky. I think I'm going to try with this light ultramarine to start with. So this paper is wet now, so we'll see how it does wet on wet. And it absorbs nicely. Now, like I'm saying, this is just going to be really, really quick. I'm just playing here. Thought this would be fun to do just instead of just doing swatches. So when it comes to my skies, I like to just kind of wet them and then let them dry, because watercolor just kind of likes to do what it likes to do. And so I like to let it just do that. So just gonna let it go here. Just maybe do a little bit of ruffling up the page with some water. This does absorb nicely, and we'll let that dry. But I thought I might do some mountains. So let's get in here with we do like to do our light colors first, or I do. And then I can build up on that. Like I said, I already did like a light sketch. So let's try some of this raw sienna. It's a pretty color. Just gonna do a background here of these mountains. And I'm gonna drop in some darker shades here. And I'll do this one too. have it come across a little bit. When I paint, obviously I don't have a reference photo. I just kind of like to, this particular sketch is just made up. Let's drop in some deeper colors. Let's put in some of this burnt umber in here, closer up. Let's get some texture. And I like the textures that it's giving me with on the bottom. And almost it's kind of creeping up in there like it's maybe doing some texture at the ground, or even maybe even leaves. Look at that little foreground. I like that. That's nice. I'm going right over my tree because I'm going to do that in a little bit after it dries, so that doesn't bother me. Just, and let me kind of come in here too with some. This is a really quick, really quick painting. I'm going to come in with some of this earth, English red. Come down here with it. Going to give us a little valley, and then maybe come back up. So the mountains in the back are always going to have a little further distance to them, so they're going to be a little bit lighter, although I just added dark to that. And the ones closer up are going to have some darker textures. And let's put some, just for the heck of it, since I'm playing with these darker colors, even though I said I was going to go light first. I like the texture I'm getting with this paper. So I'll just do some texture down here in the front with some of these darker values. In watercolor, we say we always start light to dark, and then start out big, medium, and then small. And we also go light to dark. Maybe some sun coming off on the side, which I actually could get up into some of my sunnier colors up there. But I like the texture this is giving me. All right, let's try some greens down here. We got a lot of greens. I think I want to start with the deep green though. This time I'm going to add maybe some water to it. I'm going to use kind of the side of my brush and see what we can get. But come up into that a little bit. I'll try another green here. Sorry, I'm thinking. To be quiet when I think. My husband used to say I was dangerous when I was thinking. There you go, thinking again. Let's add some more color down here with this green. Let me try mixing some colors. How about that? Let's try making a green. Let me try this gold ochre, since I'm kind of going in these tones. Kind of bring that down here too. And put some up here as well. So let's try to go lighter up in there. So let's kind of, this is gold ochre. Now, you may not like my painting, but that's okay. I was just playing. And try these colors out in a painting, not just always something. Let's try mixing this yellow, and let me add one of these gorgeous blues. I like this one. Let's see what we get with that. See what kind of green. Oh, that almost kind of matches that emerald green a little bit. Actually, just kind of dip it in. kind of, I have some colors going up into the others, and that's okay. I'm going to leave that be for a minute and let that dry. Let me come over to my tree. I'll come back to these. I want to try to do, when I do my trees, what I like to do sometimes is just come in here, some water and pigment, and just kind of let it go on its own. So I've already come over this, so some of this is already wet. So I'm coming back over, this is the sepia. And just kind of let this blend in here. Maybe make some branches, just ideas of branches. My trees outside, I always say they're brought to me by Sesame Street and the letter Y, because the branches always seem to go in the Y shape. You add some of this burnt umber too. All right, I'm not going to get too detailed on these because I didn't want to really spend that much time with this as far as that goes. I'm just trying to play with the colors and see how they apply. Get some foliage down here. Can make some marks with my brush as well. All right, then I'm going to come in with some greens. This sap green is really bright. So I like to do my leaves. You know, you don't really see every leaf. And I like to kind of paint loosely and lightly, and can actually come back in with some more colors on that. And drop some here on the ground even. So I kind of lost my mountains. Now it's more like a backyard. It doesn't matter. So you do some little ghosty trees here in the back, or you just kind of give the impression. Maybe another tree somewhere. Maybe some kind of shadows or something. I don't know. Then try some of these golds. I tried that other gold in there. I'm gonna put some of these drops of these so we can kind of make it a fall tree, even though it's summertime. I'm probably going way too long on this video, but I just want to play a little bit with you and show off my new toys. Back in here. Actually, what I like to do with my trees sometimes, this is that, is add a little bit of red or purple for a second layer. Just kind of hint at the branches. This is obviously not a tutorial in how to paint. It's just playtime, which I love to do. Let me just do a couple more things and then we'll call it a day on this. Let me come in with some burnt sienna here. Let's drop that in and let it just kind of do what it wants to do. But these are gorgeous colors, and I so appreciate Lightwish thinking of me, and they're sending me this gift. So I just want to give them a huge thank you for what they've done. And I don't normally paint like this. I would take time to let some of this stuff dry and then come back. So this is, as like I say, this is not a tutorial. Let me just drop a couple of these bluish green tints in here. Just, they're really pretty. Let me get some wildflowers growing here. Actually, when I start to really paint seriously, I like to take my time and build things up and come back to them and give it some time and thought. But this actually isn't. It's taking me a little bit of time, but not a whole lot of thought. I just wanted to play with the colors, but they're delightful, and the paper is delightful. And come back in here and add some blue to this. So the paper, it layers well, dries well, absorbs well. Make a little cloudy sky here. That's what I like to do. I'm going to drop some blues in between these leaves. I like to do that too. They're going to blend well together. All right, I'm going to call it quits because I don't want to go too long and bore you, but I'm very grateful and I love the product. The palette is absolutely gorgeous. The colors are really pretty, the pigmented colors. And I like that as well. So I just huge thank you for Lightwish, and I'll put their contact information in the description if you want to thank them with me and maybe order something for yourself. You won't be disappointed. I love their products. I know you probably think, what in the world am I doing now? I'm just kind of punching this up. And it'll dry. When it dries, it will all, hopefully will all come together in a nice harmony. All right, I'm going to stop because once I get going here, oh, and look how pretty that's drying. Look at this, how pretty this is drying. It almost looks textured, doesn't it? Isn't that pretty? See, now I didn't even plan that. That's kind of what comes out with these paints as they dry and the paper. I love that tree. I love that tree. See, if we had more time, we could watch these dry a little bit and then see the different textures that come out on the paper. So I really, really like this tree. Just this tree right here, to me, is absolutely gorgeous. All right, I'm gonna let you go. Oh, let me give some flowers on here. Let me dip some little. We'll get some, whoops, too much water. Make some little, let's get some wildflowers. Okay, we gotta have some wildflowers in the foreground. Paper's still a little bit wet for me to be adding paint, but it's fun. It's really fun, and I'm grateful. I'm going to stop there because I'll mess it up. Thank you so much for watching and liking and subscribing and all those things we do on Facebook. And if you're still here with me, thank you. I'll see you next time. Be sure you follow your brush. Take you great places.